So, very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all to this webinar on data analysis using PSPP. I welcome also our colleagues from Nizwa College, and I wish this webinar will be smooth, light, and useful at the same time. Me in this presentation, I'm accompanied by Dr. Suhail Ahmed and Dr. Zahir Ahmed Khan as well from Business Department, Mazun College. Thank you for sharing us their information and knowledge. This workshop actually comes in response to different as well workshop on PSPP. And in the first workshop done in SQU, if you remember, and multiple workshops also here in the college, we had some primary introduction to PSPP, how to identify the variables, what is it exactly, and how to do entering and coding of the system. Today, we will build on that, giving more insights into the statistical analysis with the assist of PSPP as a statistical software, open source one. And we will look at the descriptive and inferential as well as statistics. So we'll have two levels of statistics. I'll start introducing this workshop. Then my colleague, Dr. Suhail Ahmed, will give some data entry and importing data, data cleaning and reliability test and computing variables, and also descriptive analysis, some descriptive analysis in an empirical way. Dr. Zahir from the same department, Business Department, also will be sharing the third part of this presentation, talking about some of the inferential data analysis using PSPP. Now, to many of you now, PSPP is a software that also deals with the statistics, similar to other softwares like AMOS or different SPSS, for example, and other statistical software that helping the researcher to do analysis. And these programs or software are not utilized by only one specialization, rather they are useful for all different type of information that required study of relationship between variables and to compare and to infer some general statistic about any concepts. So the PSPP, the most featured thing about this software is that it's an open source statistical analysis software. So we are allowed to use it without any license, and you can easily download it. You can just go to the PSPP website and download it. It's very powerful tool for data analysis, and it's also provide and present the information after analysis in a very intelligent way. And all of this goes to the skill of the researcher himself. Now, we have to understand that these are useless without the logic of the researcher himself. So based on the researcher intent, which is clear in his research question and methodology, we can utilize any software by inferencing the main statistics that are required. In our previous workshops, we talked about how to design a solid, sound research design using a solid and significant research problem. And now this one comes as also the third very fundamental part of research, which is how to analyze and present your data using as a tool PSPP or SPP or other programs to provide such solid and analytical analysis. The features of PSPP compared to other statistical software, it has a high quality output, and you can alter the output. You can change the output and whether you can alter it directly into the system itself, or you can take it to other system. It's featuring, so you can transfer the information from this from your program PSPP to Word or to Excel or to any other software. Uh, it's also dealing with graphical use interference, and it has a very interesting interference. And if you are used now, the most popular one, I wouldn't for myself as an experience, it's SPSS. When I start dealing with BSP, I didn't find any problem because it's almost, when it's come to the interference of that program, it sound very familiar to me. It's almost the same sequence. It provides us with a very, I mean, simple statistics, not very advanced. Now, the AMOS, for example, or the SPSS, it's very advanced for statisticians, and it's also have its own unique features as well. But what makes it the simpler here, the PSPB, I find it very simple to use and very friendly as well. It also offers a very comprehensive selection of data processing, analysis, which we all need it regardless of our specialization. So in addition to that, it you can provide, it can easily, as I said earlier, it is easily can build to different range of platforms. So we can link it to others. So we can transfer our files from SPSS to PSPP, or from AMOS to PSPP, or from Excel to PSPP, and vice versa as well. I received one question last time, and one of the participants here today asked the question, Doctor, why PSPP when we have already got, we can use SPSS? Why to bother about introducing a different one? And this question is very logical and interesting, but the answer for this one, I put it into 6 ways. First of all, BSPP or the SPSS is an official, it's a very sound and reliable, but it's also expensive. So BSPP is an open source statistics program. You can use it. There is no need for license. So there is no expiration period. I mean, you don't have to renew it every year. It's in addition, as I said, the BSPP provide analysis in a very basic forms. It has as well the advanced one, but also support limited number of types of analysis. BSPP can work on most operating systems, so it's very dynamic. And as I said, it's good for basic. We are not all, we are researcher, but not every researcher is a good statistician. So many researchers will require mainly the descriptive analysis, where are others, very specialized one, will go to the inferential statistics. So we have different interests, but this is good for beginners, or not for beginners, but not very, I mean, advanced one. This was a very quick introduction to SPSS. Now I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Suhail, to start his own part on
Okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. Said. Dr. Sohail is struggling with the computer, but he's near to finish. So, may I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome to everybody. So, I will start with the basic idea of how to enter the data. First step, all of you know very well that this is a free download software and it can work in different operating platforms. So all of us can easily download, and our students as well. So first step is the data entry. For the data entry, we have different options how we can enter the data. Uh, paste it one by one. You are saving. You can paste it on your document for further interpretation and explanation of this. So this is the way how we can save different documents. Okay, I will close this. So next important step is uh, how we can go for further analysis. If you go to the questionnaire, you will see that we have four variables: satisfaction, price, design, and brand. Brand, design, and price assumed as independent variable, and satisfaction as dependent variable, depending upon our research design and theoretical framework. Okay, but this we need to deal with four variables, but here we have many items. So the idea is, it is very clear from here that these four determine this variable, these three determine this variable, these three determine this variable. So how we can club them as a one variable, how we can make a single variable using the uh, items representing the latent variable. So for that purpose, we use the option of computation, compute. Okay, go to compute, name the variable. For example, my variable name is brand. So remember, if you have long name, use underscore. Otherwise, if space is there or illegal characters are there, system will not accept this. Okay, I'm selecting these parentheses. So going to the middle, this item plus this item plus this item plus, it goes with double click. This item represent my variable brand, divided by 4, we will take the average of all. So there are 4 items, so we will take 4. So this has been executed. So we can see in our data variable view whether this is, you see, brand is here. If you go to the data view, you will see that new variable has been created and average values have been assigned to that by the system, brand. So going with the same way, you will compute all the variables I have computed already here. After computing the variables, understand, we want to check the consistency of data, or consistency you can check before that. That is called reliability test. This is one of the most important tests we need to apply. This is denoted by Chromback alpha. Very famous notation is alpha, and its values are recommended in certain methodologies. So first 4 items, make one variable, put them there, click OK. You will see here that total number of cases are 50. Excluded, none of them is excluded. Total is 150, and Chromback alpha value is 0.63. Number of items measuring this variable are 4 here. So 0.63, in most of the cases, there are some references, very strong references, recommendations that a value above zero point 0.6 is considered as reliable and consistent and uh, useful enough for further analysis. So one is done. Go for the next. Next variable is here, that is go for reliability. So select all this with shift, remove from here, go to the next variable, design, determined by 3 items. So you have option here. See, show descriptives for scale if item deleted. Sometimes it happens that due to some items, alpha value is very down, and system may guide us that if we delete certain item, our alpha can increase or decrease. So go to this. So you will see that this is 0.6 at the acceptable range measured by this. None of the item is excluded. So this is additional information. This says that if we delete D3, Chromback alpha will be 0.7. If we delete D2, Chromback alpha will be 0.56. In this example, it is decreasing, but it happens many a time that by deleting some item, your alpha value may increase. So all these values we export using the same process and keep all the values same, and in next step when we write our analysis we can use these values. So this was about the first step of cleaning data, missing value, descriptive characteristics of data, and checking the reliability of the data. Next step is using different analysis. For example, we want descriptive analysis. Now, in further analysis, we will be dealing with these four variables, not with the items. The story of item is over. All the items now have been merged to represent their respective variables. So select it here, mean, median, standard deviation, or anything. For example, you need kurtosis, skewness, whatever you need, according to your need of the analysis, what you want to represent in your research report, you can select the attributes. So this is output, brand, design, price, and this, their standard deviation, their means, maximum value, minimum value. So maximum minimum is very important because it should not exceed the 5 or 7 or 10 depending upon the maximum value given in your scale when you are collecting the data. So you can save this. So everything is here. Next is sometime we use to compare the mean. You can use one sample t-test. You can use two sample t-test. So one sample t-test for this gender we use. Understand, for example, for the brand test value you can put here because we don't have such case. So if you have the case, you can use. So independent sample t-test you can use. Test variable, for example, test variable is design. So grouping variable is, for example, gender. Then you go to define the group. Define the group. Group 1 value is 1 and group 2 value is 2. 2 for female, for example. 1 represents male. So continue. So this will be your output, that regarding the design, how is the difference between of opinion between male and female. So t-test is the test of statistics here, degree of freedom, and f value. So f value is computed by the system. In manual calculation we have another approach, but here we use the significance level. So significance level is 0.815. So this is greater than 0.05, so we can say that they are not significantly different. So that means are same, there is no significant difference. So here is a rule of thumb. We use 0.05 as a cutoff value, that if our significance value is above that, what should be the decision? If it is below 0.05, what should be the decision? All this is provided by statistical methods. But 0.05 is useful when we have taken confidence interval 95%. So this means 5% probability is there that our hypothesis will be proven true. So in this way you can use, and another way of comparison is one-way ANOVA. When we have more than two groups, so if we want to measure that, if there is difference between the means of variable or means of their opinion, of mean of their responses, or difference of means between the variable, so different things are there. So a dependent variable is, for example, if we go here and factor, we use factor age group as a factor. Okay, so you can see there, this is coming your ANOVA table, that regarding the brand, between the groups and within the groups, is there difference of choice or no choice? So again, you will use F statistics is there. You will use significance value. This is the P value. If it is less than 0.05, this means that population of the same means and there is no significant difference. So if so we will reject the null hypothesis. If it is less than 0.05, we will accept the hypothesis. So acceptance
I
and
think
rejection.
Dr. Zahir, I think you
Yes,
went on the time.
I am about to finish. Okay, I am about to finish that. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
The,
finally, in this way we go. So
doctor, please let him.
next,
Doctor, please let him continue because I am from engineering, so something it's new and interesting for me. Please.
okay, okay, I will inshallah sum up within time. So independent sample t-test you can use when you have one experiment on two samples. Paired sample test you can use if you when you have one experiment on two subcategories of your sample. So you can use this. One way ANOVA and simple t-test, this has the same output. So next is sometime we are very much interested in analyzing the correlation. So bivariate correlation, we use Pearson correlation. We want to know, is there correlation between brand and price, between brand and design, between price and this? Select all these, place it here, and significance correlation flag if you want, you can have. So click on this. So this is correlation table is given. Now how to explain it, how to interpret it, you can use statistical guidelines. Guidelines are there. So we need another learning how to interpret this, but your output is ready. Okay. So these are the basic things. And next is inferential statistics, regression, and other things. My colleague Dr. Sohail will explain to you. But before that, one of the important feature is that is exploratory factor analysis to determine the factor, which factors describe your variable. That is one of the essential step, because I got is here some ready-made things. But when you have raw data, first you have to determine the factors and the variables. So Dr. Sohail will explain that. Over to Dr. Sohail.